There is a certain kind of revenge that takes 20 years. Not the loud kind, the patient kind, where your enemy smiles at you every day, never knowing you are slowly taking everything he owns. This is the story of Aldo Faro, the greatest jeweler the city had ever known, betrayed by his closest friend, robbed, ruined, and the gift he spent 20 years preparing for the man who destroyed him. Aldo was not born rich. He was born with a gift in his hands. Even as a boy, he could turn dull metal and rough stone into something that made grown men weep. By 30, kings sent him letters. But Aldo had no head for business, so he trusted the one man who did, his oldest friend, a charming, silver-tongued merchant named Richie. They had grown up in the same poor alley. For 15 years, it worked. Aldo made the treasures, Richie sold them and handled the money. Aldo signed whatever Richie put in front of him, never reading a word. That trust was the knife he handed to his own throat. It happened the year the Great Commission came. A foreign king ordered a crown, the finest piece Aldo had ever attempted. A fortune in gems, all bought on credit, all in Aldo's name, because Richie had arranged the papers. Aldo poured his soul into it. When it was finished, it was the finest thing his hands had ever made. The night before it was to be delivered, it vanished. And so did Richie. Aldo woke to an empty safe. The crown, gone. And documents he had signed without reading, placing every debt, every loan, entirely in his name. Richie had planned it for years. The creditors took everything: the workshop, the tools, the house. Aldo stood in the street, a ruined old man, holding nothing but a single jeweler's file that had fallen from his pocket. Most men would have died in that gutter. For a while, Aldo nearly did. But one cold morning, he looked down at the one thing he had left, that single jeweler's file, and something changed in his eyes. He would not chase Richie. He would do something far more patient, far more terrible. He knew Richie's one weakness: not gold, not women, but pride. Richie wanted to be admired, so Aldo decided to build him the most beautiful cage in the world and let him walk into it himself. And the ruined jeweler went back to work in secret. Aldo disappeared. Not the man, the name. Aldo Faro was finished, so he became a quiet, nameless craftsman who sold his work through others and never showed his face. And his work became better than ever, because now every piece had a purpose. He learned Richie had used the stolen crown to buy his way into a distant city, reinventing himself as a great patron of the arts. Richie had everything he ever wanted: admiration, status, a palace full of beautiful things. And that was exactly the weakness Aldo would use. Quietly, Aldo fed the most exquisite pieces into Richie's world. Through dealers, through a dozen hidden hands, Richie bought them all. He never knew the master craftsman he now adored was the man he had destroyed. Aldo was earning back a fortune from the pocket of the man who robbed him. Over the years, Aldo became the one man Richie could not live without. Richie's whole reputation rested on his collection, and every prize came, secretly, from Aldo's hands. Aldo used that need like a leash. He let Richie sink deeper, spending wildly, borrowing against his name, mortgaging his palace, all to keep feeding his hunger for the finest things. Just as Richie had once loaded debt onto a trusting friend, Aldo now quietly loaded debt onto him through the same dealers, the same slow, invisible noose. Richie never noticed the ground disappearing beneath him. And then Aldo prepared the final piece, the gift. He spent 3 years making it, a crown nearly identical to the one Richie had stolen 20 years before. His masterpiece, remade, the most beautiful object in the world. He let word reach Richie that this crown existed, the greatest work the mysterious master had ever made, and that it could be his for a price that would take everything Richie had left. Richie did not hesitate. To own the most beautiful thing on earth, he sold, borrowed, and emptied everything. His last coin, his last credit, his palace itself. He would have the crown at any cost. The day came. Richie arrived to collect his prize and finally meet the mysterious master. He was led into a dark workshop, a single candle, an old man at a bench, his back turned, a small gift box before him. The old man rose and turned, and Richie's blood turned to ice. It was Aldo, the friend he had destroyed 20 years before, alive, older, and smiling. Every treasure you own, I made. Every dealer you trust, I own. Every coin you spent to be here was borrowed against a fortune that no longer exists. You are ruined, Richie. You just don't know it yet. Aldo opened the box. Inside was not the crown, but a single old jeweler's file. This is all you left me. And with it, I took everything of yours. Now you have exactly what I had. Nothing. By the next morning, it was done. Richie's debts came due all at once. His palace, his treasures, his name, all gone. Seized by creditors he never saw coming. The great patron of the arts became overnight exactly what he had made Aldo, a ruined man in the street, holding nothing. Aldo never took Richie's fortune. He simply let it collapse the way his own had. And Aldo? He vanished again. Some say he opened a small workshop in a far-off town under a new name, making beautiful things for ordinary people who would never betray him. He learned the hardest lesson the day his friend destroyed him. Never hand anyone a signature you have not read. Never trust a smile more than your own eyes. But he learned a second lesson too. The most dangerous man is not the one who screams for revenge. It is the one who says nothing and simply waits. If Aldo's story gripped you, remember, betrayal can take everything in a night, but patience can take it all back. Subscribe to Rags to Empires. New stories every Tuesday and Friday.